Hello, everybody. I think we are now live. Yep, I got the notification.
Oh yeah, my phone too.
Excellent. I seem very loud.
You do seem very loud. Let me see if I'm as... can I go up? I doubt it.
Let's see if I can turn that volume down, huh?
Yeah, that might help. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm as loud as I can go. Surprise.
Let's see here.
Yeah, even on the StreamYard side, you sounded loud.
Yeah, let's see. All right, here we go. Let's see. Is that coming down any?
Yeah, let me check.
Yep, that should be lowering.
Let's see.
Should be getting lower. There we go. That's about more even, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. My apologies. I'm using Linux machine to record this.
Yeah, you're like significantly quieter now.
But that kind of gives you shows you the mic level and something that uses decent drivers.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I'm a little jealous. I need to figure that out.
I am I'm using probably about half volume now.
Yeah.
For the mic.
Yeah, we sound pretty evenish on my end.
Let me actually make sure. I want to make sure that StreamYard is not auto-adjusting volume. I think that might be the issue.
Oh.
Yes, it was. Wow, okay. I forgot to change that setting.
Whoopsies.
There we go. All right, anyway, hello, everybody. And welcome to the stream. Glad that if you are here with us, thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Glad
for
that we're all
tuning
here. Yes, thank you for tuning in.
in. And if you're wondering what that noise is in the background, I am on a train going to see my girlfriend. So.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What are you guys gonna do?
Here. No, drink some, watch a movie, maybe, probably go for a walk.
Nice,
you know.
Nice. Well, let's see.
Podcast. Okay.
I want to thank, we had about 5 new subs. It's kind of fitting that we got this stream, but, you know, we got about 5 new subs, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to be transparent. We didn't have a stream last week. You guys probably missed us last week. And here we are this week, and, you know, I think it's time that we had this conversation. And then, you know, once we talk a little bit about the state of the channel and moving forward and how things are going to, you know, work out and that kind of thing, we're going to do some, we'll talk a little bit about the state of Linux accessibility. And,
there we go, I'm back.
Welcome back. We'll do talk a little bit about Linux accessibility and some of the distros that I've tried, and you know the state of where accessibility is at right now if you are looking to try it out, and who it's for and who it's not for. I intended to do a little bit of a demo, but I still need to figure out how to bring audio over on a stream. I think I'm going to have to try to probably pre-record something. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. And Kurt,
Yeah.
what's it like being on the train? How long's your train ride?
My train ride is about another 45 minutes or so.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So,
What's it like being on the train?
Well, fairly quiet right now. I had a drunk man being very interested in my cane on the bus ride.
Oh,
He
nice.
thought it was so incredible that, as people do.
Nice. So is this like a Amtrak, or what kind of a train?
It's a commuter
is this?
train.
Okay.
It's a front run. It's just a commuter rail. It's about an hour ride.
Cool.
So,
Do they give you food on the train or anything like that?
No, I wish. They do not.
Oh, okay.
Still low class here in Utah, but yeah, I'm hungry
Alright.
too. I need food.
If your girlfriend's listening, I think it's now you're hearing this, get food ready. Kurt wants some food.
She knows.
Okay,
She's
all
aware,
right.
I'm sure.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see. The state of the channel, kind of where we're at is, it's getting a little bit more difficult to stay motivated. There's a lot of podcasts out there that are doing a lot of these similar content. And I've always said that we're going to do something different, or there's not really much sense in doing it. So there's a lot of podcasts out there that are kind of doing the same thing, covering the same topics. We've even covered some of the same topics that we're coming back around to. And, in addition to that, I think that it's very difficult to try to juggle this on top of, other things that we have going on. And I think that's probably true for both of us.
Yeah.
That we try to juggle this, and if we're not getting that assistance to be able to come up with content, to optimize, to upload the podcast, so do the tags, so send out promotions, do all the things that are needed really to sustain something like this, it's very difficult to keep going with this kind of a podcast and have it be something enjoyable, a very enjoyable hobby type thing, because that's the goal.
It's hard for just two people.
Yeah, the goal is that we enjoy this and that we're having fun doing what we're doing, and not something that we're resenting doing or anything like that. And so I think that we're going to probably take a break from doing live streams. This is probably going to be the last one for a while. We might occasionally do live streams, but they won't be weekly scheduled live streams. What we hope to be able to do is maybe create a little bit more of the smaller videos.
Yeah.
Put up more short content. Maybe Kurt will play a game, or maybe we'll just do a news coverage or something, or we'll do something about a specific app or whatever. Anyway, we'll just do some short things, and be able to bring you some Linux stuff if that's something that people are interested in. The other thing that doesn't really help is that we haven't really seen much engagement of people saying that this is kind of content that they like. We have this mailing list that's sort of taken off. It's got, probably 15 people or something on there now. I don't know. I'd have to look at the exact number, but we're just not really getting that engagement. And so it's very difficult to say this is what people want if we're not getting the engagement. We still kind of we get the views, although we still don't really have a great idea of what drives those. But we're just not really getting the engagement. We used to certainly get more people in the comments. That's not happening. So basically, there's not really much of a point in continuing to do something that people just aren't interested in. Robert?
Hi, Robert.
He says, greeting from the cold Zimbabwe. Long time no see. Glad that you're here, Robert. Robert.
Man, it's always good to hear from you.
So, yep. So anyway, this isn't the end of of the channel or anything
No,
like
not
that.
at
It's
all.
not even the end of live streams. But we're not
Yeah.
gonna commit to doing weekly live streams. So
Yeah, and I part of this has been, just I've had a lot going on in my life lately, and it's been harder to, do my part and write the streams beforehand, write the show notes and all that beforehand. And so I'm definitely not done by any means, but I do need to get more motivation back and more of a kind of direction of what viewers want if I'm going to do something like weekly. And since that's not really happening, I just, I don't want to lead anybody on.
yep. So we'll do a live stream if there's a need or if we find something interesting that we want to do, and otherwise we'll do some short videos, and hopefully Kurt will get involved with that. And if any of you want to put up content, that we're welcome to do that. Send us whatever you want to put up, or if you want to come on and have a chat about something, you're welcome to come on. And if there's some coverage that you want to see, or some specific topic that you think would be cool that no one else is covering, send that along to us. We'd be happy to see that. Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at. So
Yeah.
don't have much else to add to that.
Yeah, and if you're interested in getting involved in a more regular way, like back in the old podcast when there were three of us, it didn't always work perfectly, and obviously there were issues. But I think with three people, it's a good way to divide the labor a bit, so one person's not doing everything, or two people aren't doing everything. It's two is a hard number for something like this. So yeah, I'm repeating, but that's just my 2 cents there.
All right. Well, let's see. Linux Land. So, before you guys tune out, because I start saying Linux and people just tune out, say, "Oh, it's for geeks." Before you tune out, please listen to what we're going to say here about Linux, and who it's for, and why you might want to give it a go. And then you can tune out, because if it's not for you, you can tune out. But why should someone care about Linux? Why, if you have Windows, if you don't even know what you have and you just use your computer, why should you care about Linux? One beauty of Linux, or one good part about it, is that really it's had accessibility baked in for a very long time. Uh-oh. Oh, you got a new stop. Okay, all right.
Yep.
So we've had accessibility baked in for a really long time, and in some ways it's been, really good. Like, you can have accessibility from all the way pretty much close to at boot in Linux land. You've always had an accessible installer, which Windows took a while to catch up with. You've had, since everything is very configurable, you really have, especially through command line, the access is better than pretty much anything else that you're going to have on any other platform in that way. So if you are someone that is looking to learn something, also if you're someone who's possibly considering like an IT or working in server land, or if you're someone who kind of wants to dig into how your computer works and understand it a little bit better, I think Linux is kind of a really great way to go. And if you're a person who kind of needs some basic things, like we talked about Chromebooks and some of the benefits of Chromebooks, well, Linux can offer that similar thing too, and that web browsing works really well in Linux land. So,
or if you have an old computer that is slow on Windows.
Yep. So if you have an older computer, or if you have a computer that is kind of lacking on resources, or if you have a computer that won't get Windows 11, I would say give Linux a shot. Give it a shot. and I think that it would be beneficial to do that. I would say it's not for. I'm about to offend some people.
It's really you?
It's not for grandma. I'm sure there's some older women on here that are very much throwing things at me at the moment and calling me ageist and sexist and whatever else. It's not for grandma. It's not for grandpa. There, at least we'll get the sexist thing out of the way. What I mean by that is, if you are a kind of person that you're not really curious about anything, or computers anyway.
Yeah, you might want to rephrase that.
You're not really type of person that is okay with something breaking. In a way, if you're fine with what you're already using, you don't care about learning anything new, stick with what you got. If you're not looking at an IT job or working with servers, stick with what you got. Robert says that's sad news. However, I'll play along. Robert, if you want to come on and help us put up content, you're welcome to. So I've tried out a lot of these Linux distributions out there. Fedora is one that I use on my primary machine quite a lot. Find it works pretty well. Definitely just generally sticks to stock. It is more likely to break because it gets packages a lot sooner than other distros, so they might be a little bit more unstable. But yeah, Fedora, that's the name of it, works pretty well. What is a distro? When I mean a distro, I mean like a flavor or a version of the operating system. So there's a lot of these terms that you kind of have to get adjusted to in Linux land. So Fedora works pretty well, except that the installer in the newest version doesn't work. So if you already have it, you can update to the latest version. That's fine. If otherwise, if you're trying to install it, they broke the installer. So there's that.
That's great.
Yep.
Ubuntu. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask, so if you want something that isn't quite as dense or isn't quite as, isn't quite as, updated, or it's updated a little more often than, your Ubuntu or Debian, but not as much as Fedora. Is there a good, middle ground one?
I mean, Ubuntu is updated pretty frequently. There's probably a good middle ground, maybe like a Pop OS. Pop OS sounds like a strange name. What it is, there's a computer manufacturer of Linux computers called System 76. They build, they sell Linux laptops. And they have an OS called Pop OS. And, so that one might be a little bit more updated. Kernel might be a little bit more updated. Things like that. And they also have added a lot of keyboard shortcuts that they've customized for their OS, and it does work pretty well. So, maybe Pop OS might be something to give a go. And their installer is accessible, works pretty well. And, so there's that one. And, of course, all these use Orca for their screen reader. There is another screen reader that is being developed, but that's far out, and I don't think that it's going to actually come to be, but who knows. So Orca is the screen reader that is out right now. It's been there for a long time, and that is for for graphical apps. So anything that you're, anything that gives you buttons and that you're clicking on things, or you're using the keyboard to go from thing to thing, graphical apps. There are screen readers for command line. There are plenty of those. eSpeakUp, TDSR, there's a Fenria, there's a bunch of these things for command line, but that's maybe a little bit more advanced. So, but if you want to use speech or braille, you can use Orca with speech and braille, and a lot of these operating systems, they'll come with basically accessibility out of the box that you can just turn on and use. So the Ubuntu works pretty well. The Debian is very stable. That one works pretty well. It's just going to be a little bit more outdated.
Yep.
But it is very stable.
That's the one I have experience with.
Yep. And like Ubuntu and Debian, a lot of these come on servers and stuff, so. But they're, it's very stable, works well. So, give it a go. And I know I talked a little bit about, and I think did even a demo of how to put it on a flash drive. I thought about doing that again, but it was like, oh, we already did that. So, you can get this app called Rufus on Windows, and that will help you create those ISOs, those bootable drives. And Rufus is very accessible.
Sir, I went through a mini dead zone. Were you saying Rufus?
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Rufus is an app that you can use to make those ISOs, and I think I demoed that before, but you just download this app, and then you can plug in your thumb drive, flash drive, whatever you call it, and download your ISO of Fedora or Ubuntu or any of these, and download that and put that onto your machine. And then you'll have to figure out which combination of keys gets you to your boot screen. But usually you can just go like on, I think I have an HP. On that one, you hit escape, and then you hit F9. So escape will stop the booting process, and then F9 will get to the boot menu. And then, at least on my machine, you just hit down arrow once. I have two machines, actually, that work like this. You hit down arrow once, and then you press enter. And that will boot from USB. But you'll have to figure out how to get your machine to boot from USB. You can set it up, well, you might have to get some eyeballs to set it up, but you can set it up in the BIOS to boot automatically from a USB drive.
Yeah.
But that's probably the hardest part of the install. But once you get in, once your machine
Robert
gets
said
booted,
it's great content.
Yeah, he likes the content. Thank you, Robert. Linux is no longer available. That's been dead for a long time.
And we're not. Yeah. And we're not
it's
done,
been gone.
Robert. Don't get the wrong idea here.
Yeah, no, we're not done. No, Linux is gone. There's no more Linux. There are a couple of distributions that are more accessibility oriented, but I would stay away from them, because usually what happens with these are, they're kind of like one person decides to work on them and do the development, and then they get tired of it and they move on, and they're kind of outdated. They don't use the latest packages, whatever. But anyway, there's two of these. One of them is called Coconut, and one is called Slint. So there are two of them right now that are accessibility type distros. I would stay away from them. I would just use the mainstream Ubuntu, Fedora, Pop OS, something like that. I think you'll find that your experience will be a lot better. I haven't tried Mint lately, but that one used to be okay. So, Mint is kind of another popular distribution. So there's a lot of these. So anyway, once you get it up, you restart your machine, you boot from your flash drive, then you can hit Alt-Control-S to turn on your screen reader and get going. It doesn't have any kind of tutorial, so you just have to muck about and figure out what you're doing.
The menus in Orca are pretty easy. Like, they're good menus. It's pretty intuitive.
Yeah, you just so insert space will get you to the Orca preferences, but if you don't know that, then you'll never find them.
Right.
Because there's no window for Orca or anything. So you have to do insert space if you want the preferences. Within most of these distributions, in the settings, there's a keyboard section. So usually if you hit like Windows key, you go to their version of the start. They're called Overview. You start typing in keyboard, you'll get a list. You'll get the keyboard shortcuts thing. You can go in there and look up all the different keyboard shortcuts, or you can Google them ahead of time. So different distributions might have slightly different shortcuts. Like Pop! OS has added some of their own, but a lot of them are pretty similar. So, like Windows A will give you a list of your apps. Windows V will give you a list of your notifications, or allow you to access things like your Wi-Fi. Yeah, so there's different keyboard shortcuts like that. But yeah, I'll say give it a go. And let us know if you run into any issues, and look forward to some of the videos. I think I'll try to put some smaller videos up for parts of the install process and stuff like that. And if there's something specific that you want to know about, then reach out and ask. If you want to help out with any content, reach out and ask. If you want to provide stuff, or if you want to come on, that's fine. If you want to help with any kind of like editing or putting content up or anything like that, let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know. Is there anything that you want to add there, Kurt, or say, or?
No, not particularly. Other than just speaking for myself, I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know, like on the edge of people who could use Linux. Like I used it on my Chromebook for a while, and that's obviously not the ideal place because there were some big bugs. But I've wanted to give it a go, and I might be just barely. I feel like I'm like just barely techie enough to probably be able to do it, but it's still kind of intimidated me a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I probably should just do it, and it might not be as bad as I'm imagining.
As long as you're willing to look things up.
Well, and I am,
then I think it's pretty doable. And I would say, when you're first starting out, maybe don't put it on a primary machine, or if you are, then don't fully install it. Do a dual boot type thing. Or just run from the flash drive. Like, that's the beauty of Linux, is once you install that ISO, put that ISO on your flash drive. You use Rufus to put it on there. You can literally run that right from their flash drive. So you're not going to have maybe great performance, but it'll be fine. It'll be good enough.
Yeah.
Certainly, it'll be enough for you to be able to have a play and figure things out.
Is that better performance than you would get inside of a VirtualBox or VMware or something?
I don't know. Maybe. Depends on how fast your flash drive is.
Yeah, fair.
If you're using USB 2.0 flash drives or something, I don't know, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, that might be the way for me to go, is to just run from the USB drive and see if I can figure things out.
Yeah, definitely. Robert, he's interested in Linux, looking forward to tutorial videos. Yeah, we'll put some up. I just got to see how I can get the audio over. But yeah. I think I mean I could just record from a phone or something, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's probably the best way, I would think, but
Yeah.
and I still have this Raspberry Pi that's sitting on my shelf that I could use.
Yeah. Should do a demo on that at some point.
Okay, well, that might be the way for me to start.
If you get some motivation. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
All right. Well, it's been fun. Kurt, thanks for for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
Not sure when we'll see you again, but maybe eventually we will.
Yeah, hopefully not too long.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Take care.